Story 1. Arguably worse than nothing is when you are told you will be getting something, then they change their mind and you get nothing. One company just canceled year-end incentives a few weeks before Christmas. Another announced they were canceling the cash bonus at the December staff meeting, and it was being replaced with a point system to be announced later. It was a messed up system where you got points for work incentives and tenure, then could pick items from a catalog, mostly company-branded merchandise. Because who likes money when you can get a hat with the company logo on it? Story 2. The company went from not offering a bonus at all to making a huge deal about finally giving one that year. The bonus was shrouded in mystery but constantly hyped up and mentioned frequently from about October to the end of the year. Everyone was excited and debating how big this first-ever bonus would be. The company had a record-breaking year. Then the magical day arrived. Everyone was invited to the lunchroom to accept their Christmas bonus in person. The bonus was a company-branded duffel bag. I guess the retail value around $30 to $40. If they had just given the bags as a surprise, it would have been nice, but they hyped it so much that the entire company was extremely let down. I saw about a dozen of the bags in the trash at the end of the day. For reference, there were about 250 employees. Story 3. I've never gotten a Christmas bonus until I started working my current job. Technically, it's a year-end performance bonus, but they time them to come out right before Christmas every year. I've had bonuses at other companies, but they always came in the spring. My wife's bonus comes in September. Before that, the only other place that ever gave me a Christmas bonus was the independent video store I worked at. The owner drove in specifically to hand me a $100 bill as a Christmas bonus, which, as a 20-year-old college student working minimum wage, was very welcome. Story 4. No bonus, just a celebratory dinner. Dinner at the cheapest family-style fried chicken restaurant in the city. Quite literally, it was chosen because the owner's wife was able to negotiate for a cheaper per-head menu. The boss tells everyone the first beer is on him. We have 11 people total, and 2 of them are young kids who barely make above minimum wage. The server brings over a bag at the end to box up leftover fried chicken, and the boss packs it up to take home. No offer to the young kids if they want any. Oh, I'm gluten intolerant. My dinner is quite literally broiled chicken and a plate of iceberg lettuce. I suffered from cross-contamination of the chicken and got sick at the end of the night. Story 5. A dollar store travel mug I'm pretty sure would poison me if I put liquid in it, along with 3 loose tea bags. I work for a very rich institution that has multi-millions in surplus. I get frugality, but this was next-level bad. Story 6. My company was based out of state, so there was no office and I worked from home. Everything was direct deposit. I got a $100 bonus. I assumed it was just a notice of a direct deposit, so I looked at it and shredded it. I talked to a coworker and he asked if I got my check. Oops, so I pulled the pieces out of the trash, taped them together, signed it, took it to the bank and deposited it. They accepted the deposit, but I made sure to check after that. Story 7. A video of the C-suite executives posing for the camera and wishing us a happy holiday. Second place, cameo video of a B-list professional instrumental musician playing a Christmas carol. Story 8. I have never received a Christmas bonus in nearly 40 years of employment. But being in academia, I do get 2 weeks off paid that does not take from my accrued paid time off, and I admit that is pretty great. Story 9. Got married in November. My boss came to my wedding but didn't bring a gift, which was totally okay, as we didn't need anything. However, she assured me more than once that she was giving me an extra Christmas bonus as a wedding present. My bonus turned out to be lower than the year before and significantly lower than my coworkers' bonuses. It wasn't about the amount of money at all. It was just so depressing to realize how little I actually meant to her. Story 10. A keychain that had a small, metal oval with my last name punched into it. It looked like someone new was practicing personalizing scrap. The chain part was so fragile it snapped in 2 when I tried to put my keys on it. Story 11. 3rd grade Christmas. We all drew a name for someone else with a $20 limit. A girl in my class got me a $5 handwriting improvement book because she thought I really needed it. Still carrying that resentment. Story 12. Worked at a machine shop with 15 employees. Every one of us had been working there for at least 15 years, except for one of the machinists. It was widely known that Liz and I, who worked there, were non-drinkers. For our Christmas bonus, the boss went down the street and bought 15 different bottles of wine and put them on the conference room table, telling us all to take one. I said to Liz, "You have to be kidding me." So I took my bottle and gave it to my next-door neighbor when I got home. No Christmas bonus for me that year. Story 13. I worked at an advertising agency in the 1990s. They merged with another agency, and every Christmas you could count on an extra paycheck for your Christmas bonus. But that year was extra special. Management sent a note to all employees saying that because of the expenses of the merger, not everyone would be getting a bonus that year. Really? What they were really saying was that the executives upstairs would get a bonus, but the rest of us wouldn't. It was a morale buster. For some reason, people stopped doing overtime or caring about quality. Story 14. A $1 pay rise. Not per hour, per year. That said, in my 30 years working, the number of Christmas bonuses I've received can be counted on the fingers of one hand. The best was when in 2015 the company had record profits, and I received $2,600. Story 15. I generally don't complain about anything that would be considered a bonus, as I don't expect anything beyond the negotiated pay or salary. However, 20 years ago, I worked for a fairly well-known bass guitar amplifier company. I left a retail music store chain for this new job around September. The job wasn't exactly what I had hoped it would be, and over the next few months, there were rumors that the company was being acquired by a much larger musical instrument company, but the executives flat out denied that was happening. Anyway, the Christmas bonus was a frozen glazed ham that was too big for my bachelor pad freezer. I honestly think I just said, "No thanks," and the notice that we were being let go because the company's inventory, but not the employees, was being acquired by the much larger musical instrument company. I wondered why they hired me away from a decent job just to lay us all off 3 months later at Christmas. So, all in all, not a great bonus, but it actually worked out for the best in the end. At the time, it kind of sucked. Story 16. One year, the not-for-profit organization I was working at conducted a strange bonus experiment. We could either choose $50 cash, a $75 company-branded Western shirt, or have $100 donated back to the not-for-profit on our behalf. I am pretty sure they handed out a lot of $50. Story 17. A $10 gift card that was subtracted from my check, which required me to clock out, get a ride to the mall with a pedophile, and find something inexpensive to buy that was more than the gift card's value, forcing me to contribute my own money. Then, I had to bring the item to the company Christmas party, where I could not bring my significant other and had to bring my own beer. Story 18. Man, I have got a good one. I worked as a preschool teacher making $9.50 an hour. Our director and owner hyped up our Christmas gifts all month. We were all really hoping there would be a party or cash or gift cards. Instead, we all got a 2-inch pickle ornament, a Christmas ornament, with a paper tag saying to hang this in our Christmas tree to remind us to laugh. It was such nonsense. We know what the private preschool charged per child and what the owner was taking in. Story 19. I have 6 employees and gave them bonuses ranging from $500 to $750, depending on time at the office. I almost accidentally overdraft with some other end-of-month expenses on top of the bonuses. I am not yet a very profitable business. 2 said thank you for said nothing, reconsidering if I will even do it next year because it did not seem like anybody cared. So for those on the other side who actually do get a bonus, please thank or acknowledge your boss. A lot of us are not just made of money. Story 20. The year the company spent $500 million acquiring another, slightly larger company, we had to work unpaid overtime 6 days a week, and only state law kept them from mandating 7. However, they did ask us to volunteer to do 7. Salaried employees get taken advantage of, but at least the underpaid hourly workers received overtime for a change. Story 21. I'm a teacher. This year, we got an emailed thank you from the school board. They used to at least sign a card. At this point, just skip it. Email feels worse. Story 22. Not getting one. At my last job, I was there for 13 years. There was nothing most of the time unless my former manager pushed for it, And I know they pushed all the time. But after 13 years and you can't even be bothered to acknowledge me and my coworkers? Screw that. I've been at a new job since August, and I got things for Christmas from people I don't even do much for. Being acknowledged was both surprising and really nice. Story 23. Received a Christmas bonus every year of my working life except for the last two when I joined the federal government. Other work amenities make up for it, however. Story 24. Not exactly a bonus, but we have a system where you can congratulate a colleague for outstanding performance and gift them points to be spent on a catalog of Amazon purchases. If you get gifted these points, a certain amount is subtracted from your paycheck for administrative costs and taxes. You have no say in this at all. I went to use a year's worth of accumulated points on a nice vacuum mop, but I didn't have enough. I could pay the difference in real cash. The points were able to reduce the price of the mop down to the base price for what it costs on Amazon. Story 25. I bought a ticket to the university's giant Christmas gala, and they laid my entire working group off at the end of November without much warning. I asked the human resources representative if I could still go to the party, and she told me that former employees were not allowed, but neither would they refund my ticket. Story 26. Was foreman, received a $20 gift card which the employer used credit card points to pay for, handed to me in a rewards envelope. All other employees got company jackets and 1 week's pay. Story 27. I've only ever had one job that had a Christmas bonus, and that was United Parcel Service. We got a turkey on our way out the door that day. The closest anyone else has ever come was a Christmas or holiday party. Since not all of us are Christians, including me, these parties were more often than not just ordering in lunch so that the office types could hang out and chat, while we frontline folks just grabbed something and ate at our desks. Story 28. Not including the usual, none. When I worked at a grocery store one year, we got a coupon for $1 off of a store brand canned ham. They started at $10.99. I don't like ham. Story 29. No breaks, no lunches. You will be threatened for your life in the parking lot by management who continue to order us to remove asbestos by hand while we dump waste into the river, since the state isn't testing our waste at this moment. Oh wait, that's just another day. Story 30. Obviously something is better than nothing, but the chief executive officer of a small company would hand out $100 bills to each employee, approximately 100 people, and then would take the approximately $15 tax out of our next check. It felt a little lame, but again, it was a decent gesture until I found his tax preparation sheet on the company's public server that showed him giving himself a nice round $250,000 bonus after taxes. Story 31. Worked for a small company for years that made millions. Never received a bonus. This year we were bought out by a big company that makes billions. Got my first bonus. A lighter and a candle. Story 32. My boss gave me an unattractive bangle from a discount store, covered in string, then left home early on the last day, saying we all had to work to close. I never had much better than that, to be honest. Story 33. A company I used to work for was giving out envelopes at the end of our pizza party. It only had our pay stubs. I thought that was an insulting trick. Story 34. My former boss told me my Christmas bonus was not having to work Christmas Day. Nobody at the company worked Christmas Day. She then laughed and said my actual bonus was working a very busy double shift alone because she couldn't be bothered to come in and was going to spend Boxing Day with her family instead. Story 35. One year our bonus was a Christmas luncheon. It was on site. The company treated our department to a long hoagie cut up into 2-inch slices. There was only enough for one 2-inch hoagie slice per person. When we figured that out, most of us left and went out to lunch together. Epic fail. Story 36. I once got a $25 Olive Garden gift card and everyone else got $50. Why? Because I was single, so I only got half of what everyone else with a spouse got. Story 37. At a bike shop that failed to adapt from being the only game in town to slowly dying due to the inflexibility and ineptitude of the owners. At peak sales in 2006, we each got a couple of $100s. This decreased over the next few years to a $20 Kroger gift card. We were all pretty sure our boss bought them just for the bonus fuel points on gift card purchases. Story 38. My school decreased my Christmas vacation from December 15th, when it starts, to the 20th. Little did they know half the teachers had planned beforehand. Some teachers canceled, but most didn't or delayed. So for 3 days, 2 subjects were taught, not extended, just 2. The rest of the periods were just gaps. Story 39. Either no bonus or that company that decided to give everyone 6 bottles of the nastiest, most rancid cheap wine they could lay their hands on. They were free and I still felt cheated. Story 40. Nothing after years of getting one, albeit a very small one. I was told bonuses were cut because we have to cut expenses. Then, I found out other employees were still getting bonuses. Then I got let go because things were getting automated. 2 others got let go shortly after. Merry Christmas. Story 41. Worked at a state institution. So being taxpayer funded means no bonus or gift of any sort. 1 year, just cards were sent out, except some management had to return theirs immediately so they could then be sent to other staff.